of paying attention to how you feel little by little and guiding your thoughts to ever improved feelings and emotions. It's about caring about how you feel. It's about understanding that there are two aspects of you that are present all the while you are here in this physical body. And that the dominant non-physical aspect of you, that cork is floating, that energy is soaring, there is no resistance there. And that you simply cannot use something as your excuse to hold yourself in vibrational defiance of who you really are and feel good at the same time. It's just that simple. Oh, you get really good at explaining why you're doing it. I was betrayed, or I was misled, or I was misguided, or I made a mistake, or they made a mistake, or that's not the way I wanted, or on and on and on. We get it. There are things that you look at that aren't the way you want them to be. But we will never agree with you that any of them, no matter how big they seem to you, is a big enough excuse to separate you from you. Because that is sacrificing the you of you for some ridiculous contrast that will serve you anyway if you will let it. We're going to show you here today how that contrast that you dislike so much has an equivalent, what you do want side to it, that is serving you enormously well. And we want you to know that when you have released enough resistance or trained yourself into vibrational alignment with the new, improved version of you, from inside this vortex of creation, you'll look back on that contrast that made it all possible, and you'll love it. You'll say, bless you, lover, lover, other lover, other lover, 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 lover. Bless all yous lovers who have left me behind. Bless all you who cheated and lied. Bless all who stole from me, who robbed me of my virginity. Just that one. Bless you. Bless each and every one of you, because you were the catalyst for this. And now I'm here, I'm blessing you. But when I'm over here, I'm damning you. And we say, you can't have it both ways. The only reason that you're damning them to begin with is because they helped you become something that you're not letting yourself be. If you hadn't expanded big time, you'd not be suffering and you're not keeping up to speed. Do you get that? So you just gotta come to the place that you're willing to appreciate all of them. But we would never, ever ask you to find appreciation for those rascals when you're standing outside your vortex. That is too much work. Get in your vortex. Get in your vortex. And to get in your vortex, you got to forget about the rascals. You got to find something else to focus upon. Something neutral. Something non-toxic. Something that's not an issue. Something that hasn't been hurting you. Something that you don't talk about on your online chat group. In other words, you got to chill and relax and release, meditate and breathe and walk and ski and surf and bask and sunbathe and relax and sing and love and laugh and nurture yourself and eat good stuff and find better and better feeling thoughts and practice them until they become the norm. And then everything that life has caused you to become must manifest into your experience. And we know that in this physical body, in this lifetime, and not so far from now, it is our knowing that this is possible for you. You can reach the place where the contrast that touches you, which causes the improved rocket to launch, that the time span between your launching of that rocket and your receiving of the manifestational, full-blown, full life, vivid, see it, smell it, hear it, taste it, touch it, version of it will be instantaneous. In other words, you can get so good at achieving vibrational alignment with who you are that your problem and solution will occur to you simultaneously. You occasionally have that experience. Do you know it? Not one of you said, I will go forth into the physical, and I will sacrifice my joy for the sake of expansion. Not one of you said that. You said, I'll go forth into the physical and I'll have joyous expansion. That was the version you were telling. So what's happened is you're here and you're having and causing incredible expansion. And we think it's time for it to be joyful expansion for you. And haven't you noticed about your own personal experience? Don't you just love it when you decide to do something and then do it? Isn't there something so delicious about identifying something that you would like to be or do or have and then accomplishing it? Don't you just love filling in that space? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the expansion that is steady and rampant in your individual and collective experiences. And we have passionate, powerful desire that you are able to see yourself into alignment with that. It's like, have you ever known, Jerry has talked to Esther. He had a lot of life before they came together. And he was in the circus as a teenager, and then he was in show business for years, and he was on the road constantly and surrounded by all kinds of different people. And he spoke frequently about the roughness of the environment and how he readied himself to protect himself. He was very fierce. He knew that there could be those who would come to fight, and he had to be ready for it and to give it everything he had when it did come. And for a period of his life, there was hardly a day that he did not have an altercation and come to physical blows with someone in his quest to make the world a better place. After all, don't you make the world a better place by beating the hell out of anyone who's trying to do the opposite? So we want you to focus just for a moment on, and maybe you've had the same experience where you actually come to this place of this physical action or altercation. And haven't you noticed that when things really come to blows like that, when there's action, physical action involved, that it's going to get way, 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 way worse before it gets better. And what we're suggesting is, in your mind, just make a mental decision that rather than moving into that fist fight or that nuclear war or whatever it is, just draw back from the action of it. Just draw back from the action of it and just stay with us for a moment. Feel the diffusion of it. In other words, can't you feel the diffusion of the battle when even one pulls back? So now, that's a diffusion of resistance, which is the beginning of allowance. There's resisting who you are and allowing who you are. So now, continue with your verbal dialogue. And haven't you noticed, have you ever been in a discussion with someone with whom you disagreed? Have you ever been able to talk them out of their position? Doesn't it just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger? The surer you are, the surer they are, and the surer they are, the surer you are. Now, there's a universal law behind that, because whenever you know what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want. In other words, it's parlaying up bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But we're just saying, and we know you've noticed that verbal battle never gets resolved. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. In fact, it usually leads to the physical stuff if you let it go far enough, but we're moving the other way. So you withdrew the fists, and now you've decided to shut up. You've decided to just stop the commentary with the intention of diffusing the resistance. Now, we know some of you are thinking, but Abraham, I was right. I was right. And we remind you, we know you were right. We'll give that to you. You were right. We know you think you were right. We know it felt like you were right. We'll give it to you. You were right. But remember, the criteria is not, is it true or am I right? The criteria is, how does it feel? So we want you to feel the diffusion that happens when you stop offering your fists, and more diffusion that happens, more releasing of resistance happens when you stop offering the words. But you're still thinking about it, aren't you? You're still thinking about it. In fact, you're going to bed thinking about it, and you're waking up thinking about it, the injustice of it. You really wish that you just obliterated them when you had the chance. Now, think about withdrawing those thoughts. Now, this is the thing that we really want you to understand. We've never known anyone who could really turn their attention away from an active vibration, because it's an active vibration. Someone said, it feels like my thoughts are thinking me. So we want to help you to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and let yourself off the hook by acknowledging that when you've got something going on and it's really active in your vibration, you're thinking about it a lot because you've been offering the vibration. You've trained yourself into the vibrational frequency of that. So that thought is showing up, just like someone to fight with showed up in Jerry's experience every day when he was taking all of those jujitsu and all of those different self-defense. The more prepared he was for it, the more of it came to him. It does to anyone. The more clever you get in your argumentative debate, the more people to debate will come to you. Law of attraction just brings it. So you have to decide, and this is the thing that we really want you to understand, is that when you decide that you're trying to strike your pose of harmony with the new and expanded version of you, with the lifestyle that you've put into your vortex, when you decide that you're going to turn your attention in the direction of who you really are and what you really want, in your attention to something else, that vibration begins to fade away. So what we're really saying to you is that creation is about training yourself into vibrational patterns. And in the same way that Jerry made a decision finally, this fighting business is getting me nowhere. He decided that he was not going to fight anymore. And almost from the moment that he made that decision, not one other fight presented itself to him because he deactivated it from his vibration enough that it stopped coming. And we are proclaiming to you that you have the ability to deactivate all unwanted things in your vibration. But the only way that you can deactivate unwanted things is to make a decision about what you are going to activate. And the thing that makes it tricky for you is you cannot do it all at once. You can't just stop thinking about that. That's why we're sort of breaking it to you gently. We know most of you are not out there having fist fights, but we want you to think about action being an extreme vibrational patterning. By the time you're offering action about something, you've got a strong vibrational pattern going. And you've got a lot of strong vibrational patterns that serve you, but you have some vibrational patterns that don't serve you too. So cease the action as quickly as you can. Cease the commentary as quickly as you can. Do you know, if you would just make a decision to stop talking about those things that bother you, I'm going to stop talking about those things that bother me. I'm going to stop talking about those things that bother me. You would catch yourself more often when you're talking about those things that bother you. And eventually, by choosing the other side of it, years ago, we offered the idea of pivoting. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So in the middle of talking about what you don't want, if you would stop and say, what I do want is, and wouldn't it be nice if you could, in a very short period of time, we're talking about a matter of hours really, a couple of days at most, you could change the vibrational patterning of any subject that has been bothering you, and law of attraction will no longer bring you the cooperative components that are annoying you, and will begin to deliver to you the cooperative components that are pleasing to you. You live in a universe that is based upon vibration, and you are a veritable vibrational emitter. And you can control what you're emitting just like you can control what you do with your behavior. But it takes practice to do it. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. We've been out on the leading edge today in a number of different segments, taking thought beyond that which it has been before, and fulfilling the satisfaction that we reach for as we participate with you. We know that as a result of the lives that you are living, that you are putting new solutions, new answers, and new clarity into the vortex. And we receive the benefit of what you put there incrementally as you put it there. So we're feeling satisfaction all day, every day, as your problems and questions queue up, because the solutions and answers queue up for us, and the cooperative components are assembled. But when we come together in an atmosphere like this, where you come with still some of your problem activated, and we are able to shine the spotlight on the solution that you've put there, We then have an even more exhilarating experience of getting to feel you come into alignment with what you put there. And that happened all day long here today. We felt